Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Joey Galvez, one half of your host of Explain Yourself, and I want to let you guys know about a really cool book from our friend of the show, Eli Shockey. This one is called The Greylock, and it's a story where magic is a commodity. Potions are sold at corner stores. Orcs and dwarves earn a living in cubicles, not on the battlefields. But there are those who resist the house's magic's laws. Branded a criminal and forced to live as a wand for hire, there is a spell slinger they call the Greylock. Check this one out. You guys can pre-order issue 3 right now with code JAN241939, and make sure you guys are heading over to your favorite LCS and letting them know that you want Greylock number 3, and maybe pick up the first 2 issues. You could do that at the Scout web store. So make sure you guys are grabbing the Greylock number 3, JAN241939 at previewsworld.com.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the latest episode of All Too Real 2. My name is Michael E. Collin II, and with me, as always, via Zoom is...
It's Matthew Gomez Haas.
It's a good name.
Yeah.
Good name.
Sorry.
Is that a family name?
Yep.
Is your dad named Gomez or something?
No. We had a cat named Gomez once. Not really.
I had a cat named Cat. No, not really. But
Yeah. And a cat named Gomez would put on a more believable performance of Gomez than the actor who played Gomez in this episode. But yeah.
Possibly, yes. So, anyways, today on the show, we are talking about the pilot for the short-lived television series, The New Addams Family. It ran for 65 episodes in one season, which is a lot for a one season, but it was cable, so they can make as many episodes as they want. It ran from October of 1998 until August of 2001, and that's still one season.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know how that works, but it's considered one season for some reason.
Yeah, well, I guess I don't know, a lot of Turkish series do that though too. Like this one I've been watching. It I looked up, they have like something like 68 episodes or something like that. And I look it up, and like the first season itself has like 34 episodes. Each one's like 45 minutes long or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do they sell that stuff in DVD format? Like just like 8 CDs or DVDs or whatever per season?
Yeah, who knows if they even sell it on DVD.
Yeah.
So this show was shot in Vancouver, Canada. It featured a new cast, and it was actually well received by viewers. Gomez Addams was played by Glenn Taranto. I don't know. Morticia was played by Ellie Harvey. It basically, like the original Addams Family that ran in the 60s. It's kind of a basically like a modern update of that show. It was riding on the coattails of the Addams Family movies, like Addams Family and Addams Family Values. And also, it was produced by the same people who produced Addams Family Reunion, which we have covered on this show before.
I figured as much, yeah.
Yeah, and also featured Nicole Fugere, who played Wednesday Addams in that movie. She reprised her role on this TV series as well.
Mm-hmm.
They came up with a new theme song for this. Matt, what'd you think of the new theme song?
I didn't like it. That was the same song they did at the end of Addams Family Reunion, right?
No, I think it's something different. Because the one at the end of that was like some kind of rap song or something.
Well, this is kind of like a sort of like R&B, like vocal kind of group. I thought this maybe I didn't like it just because it felt out of place. Because like I don't know, like, you know, the whole episode, everything's supposed to be like spooky and scary or whatever, and like these guys are just like dressed in suits and stuff. Like if they were dressed up, kind of like scary kid, you know what I mean? Like it would actually make some like contextual sense, but like it just like I don't know, it just felt like really like just out of place for me. I don't know.
Yeah. So one notable difference between the original show and this series was that Wednesday and Pugsley, who was played by Brody Smith, were given expanded roles that highlighted their violent and sadistic personalities, which was made popular by the Addams Family film. Another element that was carried over from the movies into this show was that Fester is Gomez's brother, whereas in the original show, he had been Morticia's uncle. So, yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So, what happens in this episode here, Matt?
Mind you, this was supposed to be like, for what was it, like ABC Family or whatever? What was it? Okay, so this was supposed to be a family comedy, okay? And within the first minute, maybe, of the show, we're already introduced to light BDSM play between Morticia and Gomez. Again, this is for ABC Family. She handcuffs. Well, how else do you explain this? What they were doing? She handcuffs him, and he's like, "Oh, you know what the Miranda rights do to me?" And then she like whispers seductively into his ear. Everyone knows that's what's going on. I mean, and what's going on. Even the kids probably know what's going on just because of how lack of subtlety they had there. And you know, to them, this is like Christmas. You know, so it's like Halloween is like, you know, the greatest time of the year, and all these kind of dumb jokes like, "Oh, you're so happy. I would think you're at a funeral. You get it? Because everything they do is opposite of what normal people do."
Yeah.
You know, type of thing. And which, you know, that was kind of the whole thing for the original. You know, that's their whole whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's the thing that's been going on since the original comic strip. So, yeah.
Yeah. So that's their whole deal. But like, the guy playing Gomez, he's just too goofy for me. Like, Gomez to me, like, especially in the Addams Family Reunion, you know, there's a certain like danger element to Gomez. Like he's suave, he's funny, but he's kind of has like a sort of like cool factor to it. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah,
this guy's goofy. Like,
I think well, this guy, I mean, he's kind of playing it more like he's got some elements of the movie version of Gomez, but he's also got kind of more like the original version from the 60s TV series.
Okay.
Because in the 60s TV series, he was goofy like this, too. He actually sounds just like the original Gomez.
Oh wow!
When he talks, I think he's that John Astin who played, and John Astin actually went on to do guest appearances on this show a few times as Grandpapa Addams. Yeah, so he played like Gomez's dad. So
okay,
yeah.
Well, that's kind of, I never really watched the original, or if I did, I don't really remember.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it from time to time. It was never one of my favorites.
Okay,
I was more of a Munsters guy. But
yeah. So after the BDSM, foreplay, ends, and she keeps him handcuffed. By the way,
yes.
That's probably part of their game, And then they send off the kids to go trick or treating. They're dressed up as Siskel and Ebert, and there's like this whole thing where they're like rating each other's pranks or whatever, like kind of like how Siskel and Ebert would do. By the way, so the kids they committed physical assault and attempted murder to one of the people that they were trick or treating at because they didn't like their slasher film homage, and they were only giving away raisins instead of candy. So, they decided to electrocute them, which attempted murder, okay. And and some bully kid was trying to steal their candy, so she put a bomb in his bag and set it off.
Yeah, we never really found out what happened to him, so I'm thinking maybe he died. No.
I think he died. He probably did. And, hey, he was trying to steal candy, so, serves him right. And
that completely justifies being killed.
Oh, of course it does. Yes. Especially if you're a child. There's no forgiveness. No. You do not have the right to try to become a better person. You're 12 and you're a bad person. That's it. You're done. That's how it works in the Addams Family. And,
I mean, the bullies I had in grade school, I killed all of them. I mean,
well,
wait,
you got a bunch of holes in the backyard, and make 7 feet deep. There's no room for error. Whoa.
Yeah, my dad just sold the house, so these people are gonna have to find them.
Dig those up, so they commit murder probably, and also attempted murder while they're pretending to be Siskel and Ebert. Meanwhile, there's these 2 burglars who are running away from the cops, and they end up just going into their yard, and the Morticia and Gomez think they're their quote first trick-or-treaters, which the guy looks like he's in his 50s or 60s. Why would someone? Okay, whatever. And his son is like 30, so why would a 60 and 30-year-old be trick-or-treating?
The dad was played by Jerry Van Dyke from like TV shows like Coach and whatnot. So yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was wondering. He looked familiar to me. Now I know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Dick Van Dyke's brother.
Okay, yeah, that's really familiar.
Yeah, he was on the TV show Coach. Also in a show that I'm hoping that we cover in the future for this series, called My Mother the Car.
What? My Mother the Car?
Yeah, he was on a sitcom in the 60s, I believe, or maybe even 50s, where he played a guy whose mother was reincarnated as a car.
Oh, that... Okay, I think I remember something like that. Yeah, I think I saw a couple episodes. That was weird.
Yeah, I'm hoping to find the pilot so we can cover that sometime, because that lasted like 1 season, so...
Yeah, I think I remember seeing reruns like when my aunt used to like babysit me when I was like a really little kid. It was pretty trippy. Yeah. Yeah. So Coach, or the guy from Coach, he's berating his son, who he doesn't allow him to call him dad. He has to call him boss, which that's a great relationship right there. And not only that, but you've raised your son to become a burglar, so that's awesome. That's like a twofer right there. And they go in, immediately he starts insulting, Morticia and Gomez, about, who decorated. Oh, by the way, there's lots of stupid jokes. This one of these things I hate about these shows, where it's not only do they make stupid jokes, because like, okay, so like a stupid joke can be stupid and still make sense. It's just a bad joke. But a lot of these shows from like the late '90s, early 2000s, like the jokes don't even make sense. Like they're not just dumb. Like there's no like. So for example, he's like, are you like he's asking like Fester like because they allow themselves to be tied up by the robbers because they think it's like a game or whatever, and like Fester's like like tie me up tighter, I can still feel my feet or whatever type of thing, and then the guy from Coach is like, what are you, some kind of sadomasochist? He's like 3rd-degree black belt. I'm like, what? Like that doesn't even make any sense. Like what are you talking about? Like
No.
I hate it when shows do that, where it's like, who wrote that and thought that made any contextual sense? You just forget the fact that it's not funny. That's actually secondary to this. Like, the joke actually has to make sense. And then if it's funny, that's a bonus point. But
I mean, the fact that the show is produced by the same people who produced the Power Rangers.
Okay. And there's another joke in there. I forgot what it was. Oh God, I just rewatched it like a half hour ago to sort of be reacclimated to it. I think it was Gomez said something. Oh damn! I wish I could remember it. It was so stupid. It made no sense whatsoever. Or maybe it was the guy again saying something like, "Oh, it's like." Who decorated your house? Martha Stewart's cousin, or so. It's like what? Like, like so. Okay, we understand Martha Stewart was like a decorator, or at least back then. And why would you assume that like her cousin would also be a decorator? And like, so if you have relatives, they all have to have the same career as you do. So like, if you're like a neuroscientist, all of your children and relatives have to be neuroscientists, or if you're a basketball player, everyone in your family has to be a basketball player. Like, okay.
Isn't everybody in your family a podcaster?
No, not really. So I guess that's not normal. I guess they should start connecting, I really wish I could remember that other joke, though. It was so dumb. Damn it, I can't remember.
It's okay. I've forgotten most of them myself, and I watched the show twice. And yeah. I fell asleep the first time I was watching it.
Well, then it should have really got into your subconscious. Then you would have, long. No, I think it's because it's a brain rot. It's like why would they come up with this and think that was funny? God damn, I'm gonna remember as soon as we get done recording. I bet you too.
Yeah,
it's gonna really piss me off. But okay, so what else happens? Because this is a really weird episode.
Well, yeah, I mean I think, honestly, the best part of it was Pugsley and Wednesday going trick-or-treating and dressed up as Siskel and Ebert. I did think that was kind of funny, though, that's what they think is scary.
Right.
Critics are scary.
Right, yeah.
And, by the way, this originally aired on, I'm just noticed, October 19th, 1998. So, yeah. But, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, that was one of my favorite parts. Also, they tortured this family because they were going to give them raisins or something.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. It was kind of funny because, like, when they went to the house, they gave like a critical review of the way they were dressed, because they were dressed up like one of them was wearing a hockey mask and the other one had a knife in their head.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, I didn't mean to scare you, kids. Yeah, you didn't scare them.
No.
Or you wouldn't scare anybody on the face of the planet. But anyways,
yeah. They live in like fear or whatever.
Do you want to take a quick break here, Matt, and then we'll come back and talk more about the rest of the episode?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we'll be back.
What is Gen X? What is the silent generation? What do generations have in common? Hi, I'm Trish the Dish from the Gen X Voice podcast, and I invite you to listen to conversations I have with folks from different generations, backgrounds, beliefs, and experiences in an attempt to see what connects rather than divides us. Even though Gen X has been called slackers, Karens, or not mentioned at all in some cases, we are the bridge generation, so I feel compelled to do my part to destroy ageism by bringing all these voices together. And, as a bonus, each guest gets to answer some 80s questions at the end of each show. So download and listen to Gen X Voice today on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And let's see how much we have in common after all.
Hi, this is Catherine, host of a new fashion podcast, The Real Fashion School Dropout. Join me as I interview guests every week in the fashion and beauty space, and we gossip on all things fashion and beauty and even get into some personal stories of their journey in the industry. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. Hope to see you there.
And we are back. Okay, Matt,
Yep.
So you looked up during the break some of these great jokes that were in the episode. What were some of them that, stood out to you?
So when they enter the house for the first time, they meet the family. The guy from Coach, Jerry Van Dyke.
Yeah.
He looks up at Lurch. Lurch is like 8 feet tall or whatever, and he goes, "Hey, Bigfoot, you eat any good books lately?" And does a dumbass laugh afterwards. What? What's the joke? Like, it reminds me of the Big Bang Theory when they just started listing off comic book titles, and that was the joke somehow. How is that? Like, those are just words strung together. It's like saying, "Hey, cat, did you brush your teeth with ketchup today?" And then go for a walk at Disneyland. Like, that's not a joke. That's just random words.
I thought that was hilarious.
Makes me angry. Yeah. And the second one, which you pointed out, actually might sort of make sense, even though this is a show made for a family channel, ABC Family, I think. They go into the basement where they send them like through a trapdoor. There's like a bunch of like chains and belts. And he goes, "I think we just wandered into Madonna's rec room." God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
BDSM in a kid's show.
Twice.
Yep.
Or 3 times, technically. Handcuffs at the beginning, rope tie for Brother Fester, I guess, and not Uncle anymore. And
no, it's her brother-in-law. It's
brother.
Yeah.
Brother-in-law Fester. Oh yeah, too. There's a whole other B plot going on. I mean, the whole episode seemed like a B plot, but like I guess a B within the B plot. The mama is Gomez doesn't call mama, it's mama, and I'm not sure
it's grandmama.
Oh, it's grandmama. Sorry.
Yeah.
She's like, so like animal cruelty is now part of the episode as well because she has this beast locked into like a cage, like almost like Solomon Grundy would be in Stargirl, and she's trying to kill the beast for dinner. And at one point, she even says, "Oh, should I stuff it before or after I kill it this time? Oh, what fun in there would be for that." So we're not just killing animals that we found and locking them up in cages. We're going to torture them first. ABC Family.
Yep.
And then the animal tries to break free, unfortunately doesn't make it, and she kills the beast anyway, and then they eat it for dinner. Yay!
Yep.
Yep.
So basically, the way this story ends is that the cops bring Pugsley and Wednesday home, and then they see the burglars there, and the burglars ask them to be arrested. because they want to get the fuck out of Dodge.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're freaked out by the family there. Honestly, I would have just wanted to stay and hang out. I mean,
it wasn't that scary, to be
No.
honest. It really wasn't. I mean, like, this isn't like Saw or like, what's that movie where they go into a home and it's like all like just like a horror house, like sorry, not a horror house, a horror house.
like
Want to make sure,
like House on Haunted Hill, or
just something. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never seen it, but just something like that.
Yeah.
You know, like this is like all goofy and like, I mean, like you're afraid of this. Like you know, you're supposed to be a lifelong burglar, according to that guy's, his what he said was that he's been. So like, wait, you've been dodging bullets your whole life, literally, probably, and you're afraid of some little like goofy haunted house that's like whatever, and like overacting, so much overacting from that guy. I mean, don't get me wrong, the guy's a good actor, but like he was like, "What's the matter with you, Pete?" Like just like way over the top. Like it's like, okay, dude, like read the room. Like
yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, the thing is, Jerry Van Dyke's not a bad actor. But I
Right.
think that the direction of the show probably, because I mean it's something.
like
I mean
it.
this was like on it was, I think it was actually Fox Family Channel at the time before it became ABC
Okay.
Family, and this is just basically how all the Saban shows were that were on there and stuff. Because I mean they had like the Power Rangers stuff. They also had the Ninja Turtles, The Next Mutation or something, and
Wow.
all these other crappy, attempts at humor and stuff on these things. I don't know. And, Family Channel was kind of messed up then anyways. So,
Right, yeah.
So, would you like me to read some reviews here, Matt, of this show?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, here's a 4 out of 10 that was written in July of 2011 by The Little Songbird. Their headline is, "Not an Addams Family to Die For." At first, I intensely disliked this series. On rewatch, it's not bad as such, and creatively not as bad as I remember, but I still don't like it very much. And just for the record, this is coming from a fan of the original series and from someone who very much liked the 2 movies. The Addams Family reunion, however, was a mess despite me being a big fan of Tim Curry. I will get to what I like about the new Addams Family out of the way first. First and foremost, Glenn Taranto as Gomez. He is note perfect in the role, and you can tell he was studying the original series as he was preparing for the role. And for fans of the original series, will love the original Gomez, John Astin as Grandpapa. The costume and set design are far from cheap either. The settings are meticulous and convincing looking house. The effects are not slapdash. And the costumes are more than just fancy dress. The music is still iconic and fitting too. Okay. However, I didn't like how the series presented the Addams Family themselves. Instead of a loving, genuinely caring family, they are more like criminals in this one. I know the Barry Sonnenfeld movies had somewhat different representation of the family, but how they're presented here and their actions makes the Sonnenfeld movies tame in comparison. The series just wasn't funny here. The writing wasn't surreal or subtle enough, and the slapstick is rather tired and predictable. The stories were rather uneven for me. There are some decent ones, like the first episode and the one with Fester as Santa at the mall, but others feel as though they're increasingly running out of ideas. The acting, apart from Taranto and Aston, didn't impress me. Morticia tries too hard and is too expressive. Michael Robards overdoes it embarrassingly as Fester, and Pugsley is forgettable. Nicole Fergari fares better. She is much more comfortable than she is in the Addams Family reunion, and she has some great deadpan delivery. However, while it was more the fault of the writers, her Wednesday seemed more a pale imitation of Christina Ricci's. Overall, I know, judging from what I've said, I'm going against the tide, but while it's not a complete disgrace, I didn't care for it. 4 out of 10.
A decent review, at least.
Yeah. The next one is from somebody named Bored Dragon on September 21st of 2018. It's a 4 out of 10 as well. It says, I can't watch this. Yet they gave it a 4 out of 10. Okay, anyways. I'm a huge fan of the original series, and because of that, I'm giving a chance to every adaptation of Addams. Movies were okay, although not even close to the original show. Animated series was unwatchable, and now there's this. The new Addams Family is a color remake of the original series. Although story and humor are quite similar, the new cast is way below the original, both in looks and performance, and overall atmosphere leaves an impression of parody rather than a remake. I cannot say it is especially bad, and if I didn't watch the series from the 60s, maybe I wouldn't even like this a bit. But I did watch it, and I love it very much, so I experienced this as a blasphemy, and it was literally painful for me to watch. But they gave it a 4 out of 10.
That's, 40%. I mean, I would say 1 out of 10 would be painful to watch or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'd give it a lot lower score if that was my feeling. Here's a 10 out of 10.
Oh boy.
Okay. John 6 Daniels wrote on July 26th of 2019, dark, creepy, fun, and enjoyable. This show is a dark, beautiful show. I like it because they mix horror, satire, emotion, and jokes in it while remaining as a children's show. Many moms will become crybabies over this show. I grew up as a child watching this show, and I didn't want to harm anyone, and I didn't get any nightmares. Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, your moms might be crying more so about the stuff about BDSM throughout the whole episode and planting ideas into people.
But yeah, I mean, it's perfectly appropriate for children just because it didn't make you want to kill anybody.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that makes sense, right? I mean, I used to play Grand Theft Auto, and you could cut people's head off with a sword, and I didn't want to kill anyone in real life because so that means totally okay if a 5-year-old plays it. I mean, that's the logic, right? So
yeah. I mean, heck, let a baby play it.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, that game also allows to, literally kill prostitutes. That's a great message, to send to little Timmy or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
4-year-old Timmy, or run people over with a car. You could even kill cops.
Sex workers are not human, so you can kill them, right?
Oh, of course, yeah. People at the beach who are just hanging out at the beach, you can run them over with your car. Yeah, so totally okay for a 4-year. No, that's not as bad as that. But I'm just saying the gratuitous references to BDSM 3 times in a 22-minute long episode is a little bit much. Like,
yeah, it's I don't know. Yeah, I could read more reviews, but it's pretty much more of the same.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, what did you think? Do you think anybody should watch this?
It's all right. I mean, if like not really, but like if you wanna like kind of like do what we do, where you just want to watch something bad on purpose, it's fine. It's not so bad to the point where it's not even fun to watch something that's bad, because we've done that a few times too, where like, there's no redeeming qualities for it being bad. It's just bad. So it's not like that. If you want to like have like a drink or eat some Taco Bell and you just want to watch something stupid, I mean, it'd be a weird thing to load up. I mean, I don't think it would be on anyone's first thing on their mind of like, oh, let's go watch the new Addams Family from 1998. But hey, if you want to, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm hoping that because like the reviews, I watched a little bit of the Addams Family 2019 movie, the animated movie, and I couldn't make it more than like 15 minutes into the movie.
Wow.
And then that got a sequel. There is a Wednesday Addams TV show coming out on Netflix soon that Tim Burton is producing.
Oh wow!
So that should be interesting, and it's got interesting casting of Gomez. Luis Guzman is playing Gomez.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yes. Glendale Community College alumni. No.
That's right. Yeah, season 3.
I mean, Greendale, not Glendale. Greendale. Sorry, I said Glendale.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Greendale. Yeah, he was supposed to do a commercial for.
Yeah.
That's a good episode.
Yeah, so we'll see what how that turns out. Hopefully it fares better. Maybe we'll cover it for a future episode or something. Once it comes out. If you want us to, let us know. Send me a message at mike@cullenpark.com. Also, actually, before we wrap things off, any other thoughts before we wrap things up here, Matt, about this episode?
No, I'm good.
Okay, so, make sure you give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or anywhere else that you can review us. Check out all2real2.com for any kind of links to any of our stuff. We've got a TikTok. I put up a new TikTok video today as we record this. So, we'll see how that goes. Maybe the TikTok will get us people listening. If you got any ideas for us to do stuff on TikTok, let me know. Again, mike@cullenpark.com. Also, check out our Patreon. You can help support the show that way. Also, our TeePublic, you can get some t-shirts and stuff. Maybe we'll make a t-shirt that says something about what was that? Madonna's what?
Madonna's Rec Room.
Yeah, we'll make a Madonna's Rec Room t-shirt. Maybe. We'll see.
Like the McDonald's, McDonald's spice with Madonna.
McDonald's.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Wow.
Yeah, we might not be making that. Anyways, but
no.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, check that out. Check out our TeePublic, like I just said. Also, tell your friends about the show. Have a happy Halloween. Just be kind to each other. Be safe. Don't blow up people.
No. Don't commit attempted murder. No.
Yes. Or fulfill the murder. Attempted murder's bad. Actually killing somebody's worse.
Yeah.
Right. Wear a mask, people. Especially if you're trick-or-treating, because, that's appropriate. And, wear like a Michael Myers mask. A hockey mask. Wear a condom. And, bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to All Too Real 2 podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.